Yo, yo, yo.
What's up, guys?
Happy Tuesday. Yeah, I decided to do the stream on Tuesday this week because I just got back in from Amsterdam and ADE yesterday. Got back to LA about like 2 p.m. So by the time I got home, I was just fucking exhausted and tired. I did spend all of yesterday just relaxing and chilling and recovering. But we are back. He saw the toes. um, the dogs. Um, so yeah, we're back. Welcome to our live feedback stream here on Twitch. I'm your humble host, Phantom Freak, aka Moistmaster Flex. Back with the thick behavior. Yeah, 80 was fucking sick. If you guys ever have an opportunity to go to 80, I highly recommend it. It was my first time going. Um, and I definitely enjoyed it so much. I probably am gonna try and make it like a yearly thing now. It wasn't. It actually wasn't that expensive, all things considered. Um, yeah, I got a pro pass too, but I bought my pro pass like super early during pre-sale, so it was actually pretty cheap. And then I guess the only other really kind of pricey thing was my round trip flight, but even that, because I bought it early enough, was actually not that expensive. So yeah, I think if you plan ahead, probably like a couple months, say like 5 6 months in advance, you can actually make the trip pretty cheap, to be honest. So yeah, highly recommend. Any hoops, my normal spiel here. We got all these releases that came out last few months. We had Other Side, Bop, Fresh Cut Freaks, Unimaginable, and Check That. Um, Go check these out if you haven't yet. Um, as well as Gangster and Type 1 and Dance of the Devil. That's out for free download on SoundClouds. And lastly but not leastly, we got Hollow Freaks coming out this Friday. Hollow Freaks Volume 3 coming out this Friday. With a pretty dope lineup of artists. We got Dutch Dennis and Jackal. We have Fox. We have myself and Nezio featuring Apotheca. We got Chuck Shadow. We got Unu. We got Shapeshifter, Broshi, Tones, Candle, Darity, Choli, and Spencer Arnold. So yeah, definitely go pre-save that. Keep an eye out for the release. That will be out this Friday. And then the following weekend on November the 2nd, we're going to be doing a release party, a warehouse party here in LA, downtown LA. If you're in the area, definitely come through. It's free with RSVP. Link in the chat there. We have a pretty thick lineup here. Fox back-to-back Dutch Dennis, myself back-to-back Neurodimension, Chuck Shadow back-to-back Dare 80, Tones back-to-back Candle, Broshi back-to-back Choli. Yeah, we already have a group chat for this show, and the guys are fucking guys crack me up, man. They're already planning out like their costumes and stuff. They're just being fucking idiots. Fucking hilarious though. I'm not gonna give anything away, but yeah, hopefully like the costumes that they're talking about they actually pull through, because it would be really fun to see. I'm sure we'll have pictures afterwards, but yeah, that should be a good time. Lastly, our sponsor here, um, Eargasms. Definitely go grab a pair if you guys go to our shows. Um, they are definitely worth it to protect your hearing. Yeah. And then there's a promo code there, Phantom10 for 10% off. um, so yeah, definitely go grab some if you guys are in the market. I highly recommend them. All right. Yeah, looks like since since I started this on a Tuesday, we're probably gonna have a very few streams this week. But I'm also not mad about that because honestly, I haven't done any of my own music in a while. And there's a Hall of Freaks banner right there. Looking good. All right. Let me start loading these tunes up here. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. Got one from Shank Tanks. Who the artist is that made my wall decoration? Oh, the stuff behind me? Is that what you're referring to? Akina looks like Akina sent in 2 tunes. Do we even have Akina here? Yeah, it looks like we have very few submissions today. We only have 4. And I don't even think Akina's here. Yeah, these so these wall tapestries you see behind me and probably most of my room. There's another 2 of them that you guys can't see. But they're all pretty much within the same kind of vein, same kind of aesthetic. But the reality is I have no idea who these artists are. I just found stuff that I really liked on Amazon, and I just, it's funny because most of these I actually got for like Christmas or birthday gifts, but they were on my Amazon wish list, so then I just had like friends or family buy them for me. But yeah, I mean, they're pretty easy to find. Just put like a skeleton tapestry or something like that, and you should be able to find some pretty dope ones on Amazon. All right, we got one more from Confront. All right, so I'm gonna go through the list here. You guys kind of already know the drill. If you're here in the chat, you will get priority. Let's go from the top of the list here. We have Omerta, 5-star producer, 9 featuring Pray for Prey. We got Shank Danks. We got Akina, we got Sarva, and we got Confront. Oh, if you're looking for illustrators for a project, I mean, so I don't know if you've taken a look at the artwork for my label. It's very much within the same vein. If you're interested in this kind of stuff. So yeah, like something like that. You see in the top left there for Hype One. This one for Fresh Cut Freaks. And then yeah, the banner on the top here. These are all the same artist. She actually does a lot of cover artwork for like rock bands and stuff. And I just happened to find her online, and I just started to have her, create all the artwork for the label. But yeah, if you're interested, if you want her info, I can send that over to you. But just like follow me on Instagram or whatever. And if you want her information, I can shoot that over to you. That's if you're interested in the artwork. It's entirely up to you. All right. So do we have? Gotcha. Do we have Di Omerta? I guess that's the artist name. 5-star producer. Either or, tomato, tomato. Are you in the chat here? Oh, Young Drudu is back. You got, okay, I got a submission from you, Drudu. Hell yeah. All right, Shanks Dank. Shanks Dank. I always want to put the another Z at the end there. You know, Shanks Danks, but it's Shanks Dank. All right, let's give this tune a listen. story of my life. um, yeah, so Empire says the track is good, but I think it's way too repetitive for its own good. There's no real drop, quote unquote, or hype building, in my opinion. Other than that, this is really nice. The reality is like, I kind of sort of agree, but I also disagree. There's actually a lot of variation going on here, kind of like evolution as far as the main sounds. That main mid bass. Um, for me, at least, I think the main kind of issue going on here is that there's a lot of stuff going on, and I think these parts on their own sound great, but there's too much going on at the same time. So I think at the end of the day, you kind of have to prioritize certain sounds and certain sections. Um, and that's really just going to come down to kind of you and your artistic choices and kind of how you want to tell the story with this tune here, because the reality is like the sound selection and all the individual parts, they are really great and they all work well. It's just a matter of when and where to have them placed, um, if that makes sense. you know I think especially in this kind of, so you have one, two, three, four, five um section, sort of, yeah, like sections in your drop, and then the last section is actually kind of like a transitional sort of outro. But the first four, I think the first two are kind of okay as they are, but as you get into like three and four, section three and four of your drop, there starts to be more and more and more layers getting added in. So then it starts to get a little bit more convoluted and busy. So there's too much going on at the same time. And like I said, if you can prioritize certain sounds over other sounds, then I think it'll be a lot easier to kind of, focus on just like one thing or one other thing. Um, so yeah, I love the sound selection, overall solid arrangement. I love the progression and the sounds and the filtering. I think you did really good job with all of those things. Um, as far as mixing wise, I think the vocal has a little bit too much low end, um, and it needs more top end. It needs more kind of saturation and maybe some additional. I don't know. With techno, you can't really do that because you're not really focused on that. But I do think there's a little bit too much low end on that vocal. So I think maybe the top end needs to be brightened up just ever so slightly, ever so much. I also think we need more sub. We need more sub in the drops for sure. Even though you have a very solid kick in there, I think it really just needs to be brought up. Is really all it needs. Especially for this kind of tune, you definitely want that big like kick sub thing going on to have as much room and space as possible. um, So I only do feedback for unreleased music. So if it's on YouTube, more than likely I will not do it because it's probably already released. um, so primarily what I'm talking about as far as like the busy parts, it's usually the third and fourth section of the drop. I mean, if you're just listening, you can kind of tell what I'm talking about. There's a lot going on. Um, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a little bit too much going on. So I think it's gonna come down to prioritizing some sounds over other sounds, and then just kind of mixing them appropriately. Um, I think you can do that with a lot of filtering. You may have to actually like take out some sounds in certain sections and just kind of place them elsewhere. I think that's primarily what you have to do here because like I said, like the individual sounds and the individual parts all really work. They all work. I think the sound selection, you did a really good job with the sound selection, but it comes down to now kind of mixing and prioritizing sounds to kind of make sure that everything kind of has its own place, and you're making sure that you're having like a main focus, and then everything else is kind of like being just, you know, a supporting sound. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I'm definitely hearing like an overall improvement on your stuff, Shank Stank. I will say that I'm definitely, because you've been sending stuff over for a while, so, um, bro, damn. Okay, I was pretty much done, anyways. All right. So yeah, let's keep on moving here. Do we have Akina? Young Akina. Akina in the chat. Bada, bada, bada. Okay, I don't think Akina is here just yet. So we're gonna throw him in the back of the line here. Do we have Sarva? I think, yeah, we just saw Sarva like a second ago. Just want to make sure he's still here. Okay, we got Sarva here, so we're gonna do your two next. So I got a couple more submissions, so I'm gonna start throwing these in before we continue with Sarva's tune. Oh, you okay? So Empire, you don't have any context. So, for people who who are regulars in the stream, know that I take a lot of pee breaks. Because I drink a lot of water and sparkling water. So, yeah. Bada 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 bada. All right. We got Sarva. We got Confront. Is this Confront? Yeah, this is Confront. Drudu, Empire, Nick Pang, Fango. So if you heard your name, make sure to stick around. We're gonna get to your tune here shortly. Nice. um, yeah, that was fucking sick, and it feels very appropriate to the season right now. It's kind of got like this spooky kind of feels like you're being chased in a horror movie or something. um, definitely find the most fat kids at Target. That's funny. Um, that I can make feedback on. The flow is really good, but I'd love for you to play with silence and stereo movement more. Great gun bass sounds. Beware, some of it has stereo sub frequencies. Mix is really sick. I don't really like when you play your pan snare 2 times in a row. Maybe change the tonality of the first one. Great fucking track. Mixed well, sounds full on all frequencies. All right. Some nice feedback from the chat. I'm loving the intro. Overall, super solid arrangement. I'm loving the sound selection here. Especially in the intro, really dig those like plucks and strings you got going on. They all sort of play really well together. And they're mixed pretty well too. The build is pretty sweet. On the second listen, I feel like it probably could have used just a touch more energy, snare build or some sort of like riser or something. The vocal is a bit hard to understand in that first build, and it's non-existent in the second build. So I think just for continuity's sake, either the same vocal or another similar vocal line needs to be kind of put there just to kind of keep things continuous. Continuity is key here. But yeah, the vocal is a bit hard to understand. Maybe that's on purpose. Maybe like people who like this genre really don't give a fuck about if the vocal makes sense or not. But I think just for the average listener, I think that they want something to kind of latch onto and kind of memorize. So I think having the vocal just being a little more coherent, I think would be great. The drop is fat AF. I do agree that like this mix is actually pretty dope. It's pretty clean. It does sound a little bit mid-range heavy, but maybe that's kind of appropriate for this style. So I'm not really gonna knock that. I really dig all the variations and the change ups in the drop itself. Yeah, the arrangement's very solid, and I really dig that there's like a fake drop on that second drop, as well as a change up in the second drop. All of the loofs, loud as fuck, boy. But yeah, I think like I said, just for continuity, make sure that you have a similar or the same vocal right before the second drop. And I would say making it a little bit more coherent would be great. What's up, FJ89? Dude, we're closing in on 800 followers here, so we're very, very close. Do not use Discord to submit your music. Please use the Google form. Bing bong. This is the way. All right, yeah. Sarva, good job. Super solid tune. Thanks for sending it over. Hell yeah. All right. Let's rattle off who we have here. We got Confront, we got Drudu, we got Empire, we got Nick Pang, we got Fango. And it looks like we might have another submission here in a minute. And then these other two, Dai Omerta and Akina, but they weren't in the chat, so yeah. If they come back, we'll jump on their tunes. All right, let's dive in here.
Feel that.
Sick. Really digging the vibes here. Yeah, what's the tempo on this? Bop, bop. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Originally 140, but slow down to 135. Honestly, it sounds good at the tempo it's at right now. Um, I'm really digging the sound selection, sound design. Um, the vocal you have here right now actually is kind of cool. But I would like something a little bit more substantial. Maybe you can keep this vocal you have in the tune. Um, but yeah, it would be cool to have something a little bit more unique and original and something that stands out a little bit more. Um, yeah, like I said, the actual sound design, the um, kind of call response thing you got going on is really sick. It definitely needs some more variation to it. I could definitely hear some sort of 4/4 section coming in here. I think it's great as kind of like a breakbeat sort of kick pattern right now. Um, I really dig that shit. Like that's kind of stuff like I would play out too. So having like a breakbeat pattern and then going into a 4/4 pattern, you could definitely use that as a variation. I would also like to hear some more sound design variations as well, because towards the end of this, it starts to get kind of loopy, and I understand absolutely this is a work in progress, so it's not a big deal right now. But I think as you kind of continue to develop this tune, it would be good to have more variation as far as sound design, and even with like I said with the kick pattern, you could probably do like a 4/4 section. I think that would be dope. And I think yeah, it always goes great with this kind of style. Respaces are always a good um, addition. You can do respaces like either in the your break section, break build, um, or you can even use that respace as kind of like a another variation. Um, yeah, I'm a big fan of respaces, especially in kind of like UK garage and UK breaks and stuff like that. But so far, so good. It's sounding really good. I think you're heading in a really fucking great direction, especially with this sound design. Dude, that's fucking sick. Like, if this is your first time making this genre, like, you're already doing, you're already doing fucking a lot of really good things. Is EDM your favorite genre? Is EDM my favorite genre? Uh, honestly, not particularly. I actually like my day to day listening. I listen to a lot of like funk and grunge and jazz. Like, really anything. I've listened to a lot of stuff that's not EDM, to be honest. I just so happen to make EDM because it's fun. It's really fun. And I enjoy it. I enjoy playing that stuff out too. But it's not something that I listen to like on the daily. It's kind of like the opposite. Yeah, I definitely post a lot of grunge and like metal and rock. Yeah. All right. Confront. That was a dope tune. Thanks for sending it. Definitely send a follow up. You know, once you start developing it more. Yeah, no problem. No problem, dude. Um. So yeah, we got Drew Do here. I heard him already in the chat, so no worries. I got you. We got one more submission here from FJ. FJ in the chat. We got Drew Do, we got Empire, we got Nick Pang, we got Fango, we got FJ. All right. Let's give these a listen. Let's give this a listen here. Nice one, bruv. Yeah, sorry, I got distracted because I was looking at mini meters. Yeah, it's only $10. Um, so yeah, if you guys don't have mini meters already, I would definitely recommend getting it. It's a little thingy I got playing at the top there. This little guy at the top right here. Um, but yeah, you can definitely check for a stereo image. It's this third one at the top here. You can definitely check if you have a stereo image in your sub. You just have to isolate your sub. So just solo your sub, and I'm pretty sure you can easily check if there's some sort of stereo in your sub. But anyways, Drew Do, super dope tune. Obviously, this is just a whip. You have it in the title. But so far, so good. I'm really digging the sound design and sound selection. I'm loving the intro. It's kind of like dark and spooky and ominous. Um, the energy in the build is great. Overall arrangement's very solid as you kind of have it. Oh, your cat says hi. Tell your cat I say hi too. The drop is fucking sick. And you do a good job of like adding in kind of variations and kind of keeping it this overall evolution and telling a story with this tune so far. Um, Meow. Um, I think the only thing I would say is probably a little more separation in the mix. I think the low end starts to get a little bit muddy because you have like this really big kind of mid bass, and then you got the sub going on at the same time. So I think there needs to be a little bit more separation to kind of keep the mud out there. Um, and yeah, the only other thing is basically just finish the tune. It's already sounding great. The direction it's already heading towards. Obviously, you just have the intro, the first drop, and then kind of like a slow outro into like the next break. But it sounds like it's already heading in a great direction, as far as like all the sound selection and sound design and stuff. Yeah, just be wary about some of that low end stuff when you're doing your final mix. Like I said, this is a work in progress, so clearly, you still have to kind of do a final mix down. But yeah, just something to be mindful of. Hell yeah. Yeah, overall, it sounds great though so far. Good job, Drew. All right, we got Empire next. We got Nick Pang, and we got Fango, as well as FJ. And then I don't know if these guys are going to be here. Dai Omerta and Akina. Let's see, did we get any other submissions here? Okay, nobody new, so this is the lineup we got.
创世纪第一章，起初神创造天地，地是空虚混沌渊面。
Wow, this is really fucking sick. It's funny. I just watched the movie Substance. Literally a week ago. I watched it last Monday. And the one thing that I noted in that movie was this, like, fucking, even though the visuals are fucking great, the sound design was like basically a key fucking player in the movie. But it was a body horror movie, of course, and it was fucking crazy. If you guys have a chance, definitely go see Substance, especially if you're into horror. Aw, man. Let's go gambling. Aw, dang it. The Substance, yeah. If you guys have an opportunity, definitely go watch The Substance, especially if you're into body horror. Shit gets fucking weird at the very end, but the sound design in this movie is, at least to me, it's top tier. I would probably give this movie a solid 8 to 8.5. And I watch a lot of horror movies, so that's definitely high praise, I would say. But yeah, getting back to my point here, Empire. So when I was listening to this, it basically kind of reminded me a lot of The Substance. It felt like I was watching like a body horror movie or some sort of psychological thriller, or just something kind of weird and unique and strange. This is definitely experimental. The sound design is great. It definitely feels like almost borderline cinematic, like I said. Um, so yeah, if that's something that you haven't been doing already, I would definitely like look into trying to score film or do sound design for film. I think that would probably be right up your alley, honestly, just from the sounds of it. Um, but yeah, this is great. This is great to kind of have in your repertoire, um, if you're looking to do something like that. Um, I don't really have much in the line of feedback because clearly this isn't like dance music or anything, but as far as like sound design, this is great. It's really really great. It's thick, quite thick, indeed, indubitably. Good job, Empire. Thanks for sending this over. Excuse me. All right, we got one more submission here. We're gonna add in from Timos. Um, we got Nick Ping up next. We got Fango. We got FJ. We got. Oh, that's sick, dude. Yeah, definitely keep doing what you're doing. And then we got Timos. All right, let's give this one a listen.
Fed up. No, I ain't gonna lie, I'm messed up. I'm fucked up, man. Fucked up. I'll pick up my car tomorrow. You took back that shirt I borrowed. Lipstick stains. Missing your name. I might be in my I ain't gonna lie, I miss the way you'd hold me. I miss the old me. I ain't gonna lie, I've been better every day. Got so much to say, I'll just keep it in my head. I ain't gonna lie, I miss the way you kiss me. I wish you missed me. I ain't gonna lie, I've been better every day. Got so much to say, I'll just keep it in my head. I ain't gonna lie. I can make you mad. I ain't gonna lie, I've been better every day. Got so much to say, I'll just keep it in my head. I ain't gonna lie, I miss the way you laugh. Wish I could make you mad. I ain't gonna lie, I've been better every day. Got so much to say, I'll just keep it in my head. I ain't gonna
All right, 10 seconds left. Dude, came back just in time. The song just finished like 5 seconds ago. Yeah, dude, this is sick. This is definitely along the lines of stuff I would listen to, like just on a drive, or even sometimes at the gym. Sometimes at the gym when I'm doing like something a little less high intensity, I'll listen to a lot of like really laid back, kind of chill stuff. But definitely in the car, this is definitely something I would probably listen to in the car. But overall, like fucking really great production, really great sound selection. I'm just loving the vibes overall. Loving the intro, feels very lo-fi, and the guitar sounds like it's out of tune, but that also feels like there was an obvious artistic choice, and I think it works really well for the overall kind of vibe and tune this is. I'm digging the recording as well as a lot of the really nice layering and ambient sounds. Um, and particularly you do a really good job of layering the vocals, and kind of placing them exactly where they need to be. Um, the sub is really nice when you kind of get into like the chorus there. Um, and I'm loving a lot of the mixing choices. The mixing choices are really great here. There's a lot of really cool panning that's going on, with a lot of the different instruments, as well as the vocal too. Nice Midwestern vibe, yeah, hell yeah. Lots of really cool panning and filtering. That way, a lot of the parts aren't really coinciding, and they're not really getting in the way of each other. It's really easy to kind of follow along and focus on, the main parts, which is, overall, it's a really well done job with mixing. Yeah, see, the thing is, like, I work with mostly dance music, so like mixing is kind of a little bit more straightforward. You can't get too crazy with a mix down because everything has to be played on like really big sort of systems. But something like this, you can definitely get away with being a lot more creative, and interesting with your mixes, which is really cool. It's really really nice to kind of hear it. There's really nice swing on these drums, so kudos on that. Did you play all the parts? Like, did you play the guitars? Did you play the drums? Sing the vocal, like all that stuff. And then did you also do the production as well? Production, mixing, all that stuff. Nice. I was just gonna say, man, like kudos. Like everything sounds really great here. Bass will play it on keyboard. Yeah, I think my only piece of feedback is vocal processing. I think the vocal might need a little bit more de-essing. If you have a Soothe 2, that also might help because there's a little bit of a sizzle at the top end, but I mostly noticed it towards the end here. Yeah. I think that's okay, for the most part because you kind of have this kind of lo-fi sound, so I think that definitely works for the style, but I also think like there is a little bit too much sizzle on the top end, so yeah, I would definitely recommend de-essing. Soothe 2, I agree. Soothe 2 doesn't do that much, but if you fuck around with the settings enough, you actually get, you know, some actual, you know, effectiveness on the vocal. But definitely, if you can, DS the top end of that vocal. Honestly, I've never heard of Spitfish. That's interesting. Spitfish. Oh, I guess it's a DS plugin. Yeah, if you have a FabFilter Pro DS, I think that's what it's. Yeah, DS Pro DS. Um, Definitely try that out. NS1. Who makes NS1? I've actually never heard of that plugin either. NS1. EST. Oh, Waves makes that. Yeah, dude, Waves definitely is the GOAT as far as a lot of plugins. But yeah, I think the main thing here, all I'm getting at, is that the vocal could use a little bit more de-essing. But everything else here sounds fucking great. It was a vibe, really chill, really laid back. Um, yeah, and it was just really enjoyable to listen to. So definitely, whatever you're doing, Nick Pang, keep doing it. This sounds great so far. Hell yeah. No, it's definitely like very creative. I really dig how like a lot of this panning is kind of working, and it works really to the benefit of all the individual parts, honestly. So well done. Beep, 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 beep. All right, do we have Fango in the chat? Oh yeah, Fango, you just said, oh yeah, you're here.
Come on, man, AGB shit, man. You know what it is, man. Free me. So, we the fucking guys, man. You know who it is right now. Big T Scam Lockdown. We the fucking killers, man.
Active, not interactive. Wet man sell like a newborn Catholic. 3-man 4-door usual tactic. Run that over, jump up, splash it, back it. Back to the 8, it's static. I really wait my one like Harry, he just an actor, Daniel Radcliffe. I've been rolling no JK dots and a ZK, now we got SK. And we got G-Lots, and we got AK, but it can't beat off this, it was JK. Hot head, he caught a BK, fuck Jace, I done that race at AK. Mayday, I'm on your SK, wait, protect your chest plate. He say, she say, you heard the street say that sussed on all them drills and we bait. And no bacon on my B-Day, no braces in the game like EA. Let's go hunting past him, a blade, them broski past that stick like relay. He say, she say, you heard the neat say that we don't bang, you feeling these grades. Bro was a young man with a 3A. Bro was a young man with a 2K19, no NBA. Would've been free if I didn't fly JKA. Leave that wasted, rule like GTA. I'm non-talk and smoking NDA. Not who's there's NCA. Fuck's sake, 8 there's no escape. Stressed induction, smoking 88s. Sus like Freddy heard the rumor. Reaper got a killer sense of humor. Not who's there's Kenny Kruger. This Camden, come like Fuka. Pop them doors, I get the chasing. If I win this race, you die a loser. Pop them doors, I get the chasing. If I win this race, you die a loser. Photos not done ginger. Open the door to a dead man. Don't need 10 man. Re-knife men was send man. More than enough for them. I might try dash, but it's be hooked him back and stopped him dead in his tracks. I got the G, the gas, they know they feed the sap that 3 more packs. Smoking. Strangle the fools out bar like eating my shorts. Chest shot choking, 4-door broken, headshot turning, walking court. 5 with the 1 already been done, we can't get enough, we gotta get more. We circle the bar of far out, vacant, fuck it, add SK to the talk.
Got shot, couldn't get back up. Got shot, couldn't get back up. Got shot, couldn't get back up. HRAG, that's get back stuff. Got it on me, I ain't parking it off. See a Gerard, I'm barking it off. B1's 2 tap, I ain't starting them off. Gave bro 18 like half of a box. We got 2 small keys in the ride. If we do it bro, they might end up a suspect. I never listen what mum said, so I spent all them years on a bunk bed. FaceTime at my bad one, undressed. J-Last getting my compress. Don't like who you might get tan, you ain't gotta go Spain or get on a sunbed. Fuck this bitch and a home in an Uber. Quickly, 3 knife man and the shooter. Soon as we lock eyes on a target, doing similar how them used on crew. Pop this door and get to chasing. If I win this race, you die a loser. Pop this door and get to chasing. If I win this race, you die a loser.
Bro was a young man with the 3A. 2K19, no NBA. Would've been free if I didn't fly JKA. Leave that wasted, rule like GTA. I'm non-talk and spoken NDA. Not who's there's NCA. Fuck's sake, 8 there's no escape. Stretched induction, smoking 88s. Sus like Freddy heard the rumor. Reaper got a killer sense of humor. Not who's there's Kenny Kruger. This Camden, come like Fuka. Pop them doors, I get the chasing. If I win this race, you die a loser. Pop them doors, I get the chasing. If I win this race, you die a loser.
Nice one, bruv. Yeah, I really dig a lot of the vocals and the vocal choice. Even though you said that the intro vocal was kind of not, I can't really hear it. I think that kind of adds to the overall sort of vibe and sort of theme that you got going on here. Um, yeah, I like that there's a lot of different kind of vocal parts in here, and they all kind of really work well together. They definitely have like their own, space. They don't really get in the way of each other, which is really great. Um, yo, what's up, Akina? Um, so my notes here. Sick vocal. Really great job with the drum selection, especially the kick. That kick is quite thick, and I think that's exactly what you want from this, style of music. There's really cool like sampling and sort of pads going on in the background, but I feel like they can come up a little bit more in the mix. I really dig in the drum pattern. It definitely adds to the overall vibe you got going on, and the rhythm. There's a lot of really nice swing on it. Um, I think my main piece of feedback is there's not really much of a sub line. You do have a bass line in here, but I'm not getting a whole lot of sub. Most of the sub is coming from the kick. But we're not getting as far as like a huge low end here. And I think that's kind of what's really missing. Um, ba-na-ba-na-ba-na-ba. First verse is prison mixing. The phone call was just an intro. Okay. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like that first intro part, even though it's not a verse per se, it definitely, having a phone vocal like that's kind of gives you that sort of vibe. It definitely adds to the overall theme and vibe of the tune. Even though it's not supposed to be really, you know, comprehensive or coherent, don't really understand what they're saying. It kind of adds to the overall vibe and theme. But yeah, that's the main thing for me is that I feel like we need some sort of subline that kind of pushes through on that low end. I feel like you definitely do have a bass line going on here, but it needs to be more present. It needs to be more forward. I think that's the main thing. Like everything else here sounds pretty great. Vocals sound great. I think they process pretty well as well. They're very, easy to understand for the most part. But they're very forward. They're very present. So, I really dig how the vocals are already kind of mixed. But I think, yeah, we definitely need some low end to kind of drive this tune. And I feel like especially with like drill and hip hop and rap, we definitely need a very thick low end because there's so much space, and I think especially in the mix, having that thick low end is gonna help. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Everything else, like I said, sounds great so far. So good job, Fango. Hell yeah. All right, we got Akina back in the chat. So we got FJ, we got Timos, and then we got Akina. Let me see if we got any other submissions here. We got one from Siskiyou, young Siskiyou. FJ, you sent a few tunes here. Is there any particular priority you have on one of these? 'Cause if not, I'll just pick the first one. Or actually, FJ, are you still here? Is actually the first question I should ask. Number one, are you here? Or number two, do you have a priority for a tune? FJ. Are you here, FJ? Going once. Going twice. All right, FJ. Unfortunately, you're going to the back of the line here. All right, do we got Timos? Timos still in the chat. Timos. Siskiyou doing pretty good, man. Just got back from Amsterdam and ADE. That was a dope time. Timos, hell yeah. All right, Timos, we're gonna dive into your tune. Sick. Yeah, when you put like dubstep in the little tag right there, this definitely doesn't feel like traditional dubstep, of course, but I think that's like kind of its allure and appeal. It definitely feels more like left field bass or like I don't even know, man. It feels like a combination of like dubstep and like electro house. Not even I don't even know. No, like electro. Um, it's really cool though. The sampling, the detuning on that sample, it's really sick. But it's like it's not something that you can like put your finger on. It's really cool. Um, Good job, Timos. Great sampling here. Really sick drop. I love the low end here. It's very fat. Kick sub relationships very much clean and on point. I'm loving the sound design and the sampling, of course. Um, the snare is very nice and snappy. I think Siskiyou said it too. Um, Loving that sort of like detune sound. Overall, the arrangement's very solid too. I'm really digging, the way you kind of bring those samples back in that second break. Arrangement's very solid. There's like a lot of really nice groove and swing in this too. Um, yeah, unfortunately, like I don't listen to enough dubstep to like give you any sort of, in depth or very like kind of niche feedback, but from what I'm hearing, it sounds really great to me, especially mix wise. You would think like with this sort of sampling and detuning, it would get a little bit more complicated mix wise, but it sounds like, you know, you did a very good job of keeping everything sort of relatively clean. So yeah, unfortunately I don't really have feedback for you because this is a very sort of unique tune. So there's nothing I can really reference to sort of kind of get like nitpicky. But the reality is like, Timos, you did a great job here. It sounds sick. Hell yeah. Great job, Timos. All right, we got Akina and Siskiyou. And I think that's it for the queue. Let me go pee real quick, and then we'll get into Akina's tune. Akina, are you here? Just say what's up. Do we got Akina in the chat? Young Akina. Akina. Boop. Oh, Akina going once. Akina going twice. All right. Siskiyou, are you in the chat? Bomb. All right. Looks like Siskiyou's at the front of the line now. Let's listen to this tune. Sick. Dude, I'm fucking loving the sound design in this one. That acid is fucking sick. And it's funny because like when I first heard the intro, I was not expecting to go in the direction it did. You know, I really was only hinted about it like right here, right before the drop. When I started hearing the acid, I was like, okay, this is going somewhere. And then once the drop hit, I was like, oh fuck, all right. Damn, dude. Fucking sick. Yeah, I'm really loving the intro. I'm really loving the sound selection here. Loving the sound design. There's a lot of really good reverb and like ambient ear candy stuff going on. Not only in the intro, but like basically throughout the entire song. Really sick acid. The drop is fucking sick. There's some really nice swing on those drums. Really solid groove. I'm liking, you know, pretty much I'm liking everything that I'm hearing right now. Super solid arrangement. And I'm liking the direction that this is going. You know, like the mix is already sounding pretty clean. I think my only piece of feedback is I would have liked a little bit more change and variation on the second drop. Obviously you said this is just the first render and it's still kind of like a work in progress, but I think it's definitely something that could be improved on the final track. Is definitely some more variation and change on that second drop, just to get a little bit more weirder and wonkier, and something to, you know, just kind of give the listener to kind of feed off of, you know. But like I said, as far as like everything you have here so far, it's all sounding great. Mix is sounding great. Sound design sounds great. That first drop is fat. Yeah. Really, really super dope idea so far, Siskiyou. My one nitpick is that the offbeat backbeat snare is in the drop is a little too loud, strong compared to the main snare. Oh, that's sick. Maybe if it's some 4/4. That's cool. Offbeat backbeat snare in the drop is a little bit too loud / strong compared to the main snare. Yeah, I didn't notice that at first, but you know. I guess I hear that a little bit. Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely look into that too, Siskiyou. All right. Okay, we have no new submissions. I'm gonna do one last call here. Do we got Dai Omerta? Do we have FJ or Akina in the chat? Going once, going twice. All right, I guess that's it for tonight. I'm gonna do the rest of these offline. Should be pretty quick. But thanks to everybody who joined the stream this week. I know it was kind of a bit last minute. But yeah, back next week we'll be back on our regular schedule. We'll be back on Monday, 7 p.m. Definitely go check out Hollow Freaks. That will be out this Friday. It's a compilation coming out on Thick Freakness. Go give me a follow on my socials and the label socials. And then we have a Halloween party, not this weekend, but the following weekend, November 2nd in LA. That is also free. But yeah, with that, I hope you guys have a awesome rest of your Monday night, and I hope you guys have a great week. Stay moist, get thick, hell yeah, brother. See you guys next week.